Shalom Israel. I want to give all praises, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Yahweh, who the world ignorantly calls God. Yahweh Shai is his son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, and there's no God beside him. Double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone for being faithful witnesses to the Holy Spirit, and shalom to the elect, whom the Lord have given ears to hear. And I want to get into today's lesson I want to get into is it's not a theory, it's the spirit. And amongst the many things that's happening today, the Lord is making good on his word as far as bringing forth pestilences throughout the earth. Let me grab it. Second Ezra 15:1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Jumping down to verse 5. I'll read through actually. Fear not the imagination against thee, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. And one of our main enemies, Kill Gates, is making good on his word. There was a video that came out a few years back, essentially a year or so after the start of the first CV Pan-D. And Kill Gates and his wife, they were pretty much alerting, with a smile, that if you didn't fear this first Pan-D, you're definitely going to fear the next one. And what we see now is various plagues hitting at once. You got the listeria, the H5N1, this bird flu that's, shutting down, that's causing farmers to get sick now, and therefore, causing farmers to get sick, and therefore causing them to cull the herd, from that which they could, but even the food that did get out, getting other people sick. You had let me play this. Let me play this real quick.
Respiratory symptoms following exposure to sick and dead birds.
All right, a mysterious illness has surfaced in the Central African country of Congo. The flu-like ailment that has killed dozens of people over a span of 2 weeks and is now being probed in southwestern Congo. The deaths were reported in the Panzi health zone of the Kwangu province. Well, symptoms of this mysterious illness that has claimed over 140 lives in southwest Congo include fever, headache, cough. The provincial health minister has advised the population to exercise caution and refrain from contact with the dead bodies to avoid contamination. The minister has also called on national and international partners to send medical supplies to deal with the health crisis. The illness is reported at a time when Congo is already plagued by the Mpox epidemic. The Central African country is already dealing with over 47,000 suspected cases and over 1,000 suspected deaths from the disease.
In today's Health Watch, California has declared a state of emergency after America's first severe human case of H5N1 bird flu. The Louisiana patient is in critical condition with severe respiratory symptoms following exposure to sick and dead birds. This is the 61st confirmed human bird flu case this year. CBS News medical contributor Dr. Swain Gallagher, editor-at-large for public health at KFF Health News, joins us now. Good morning. How are you doing?
Morning.
All right, so What do we know about the condition of this patient in Louisiana, and how did they get it?
So this patient we know is over 65, has chronic medical conditions. They are in critical condition at this moment and in the hospital. They appear to have been infected by a backyard flock of birds, not commercial poultry.
So is it the same strain as what's going on with dairy cattle?
It is not the same strain. It is a strain that we have seen in wild birds, and also the strain involved with the teenager who was hospitalized in critical condition from H5N1 in British Columbia, Canada.
But so people at home hearing this are going to say, well, so he was handling birds. Is there a concern now, though, that people could pass it to other people?
Very good question. So yes, his exposure was sick and dead birds. So for those of us at home, do not handle sick or dead animals, call animal control. But in terms of human-to-human transmission, the concern is the more we allow spillover into humans, the more likely at some point you might see a mutation that would allow for human-to-human transmission.
Because most people don't come in contact with sick or dead birds.
Right.
So how big of a concern should all of us feel watching and listening to you?
Right. So for the general public, the risk is still exceedingly low. The people who are at risk are farm workers, people who handle domesticated animals, livestock, and really don't drink raw milk. It's really not a good idea given everything that's happening. And again, if the more people get exposed to this virus, the more likely you are to see a mutation that will allow for human-to-human transmission.
So California has reported a state of emergency. Should other states follow suit?
So what the state of emergency allows for is flexibility in hiring, in contracting. California has really taken the
transmissible to humans. The Centers for Disease Control says it appears the H5N1 virus mutated inside the Louisiana patient who contracted the nation's first severe case of the illness. The agency suspects the patient became ill from exposure to sick and dead birds in a
Fair use, fair use. You know, I'm not receiving any compensation from playing these videos. This is just in use of for educational purposes only. So that was a little bit on those the listeria, the H5N1. And let's play this video from my guy Patrick Humphrey.
Multiple states around the country are reporting a very dense fog, and some people are even saying it smells like, quote, chemicals. People are getting sick and saying that they think it's even related to this. So let's get into the details here. Really quick, guys, please just hit that like and hit that subscribe. I'm posting every single day, keeping you guys updated on this big urgent, and that it smells, quote, chemically, right? This is happening all over the country. States like Mississippi, California, Vermont, Kansas, Minnesota, Texas, right? Missouri, Colorado, Utah, Wisconsin.
And me personally, I've also noticed in the past few days, the weather's abnormally warm. Also, what I've noticed is I've been smelling like a burning smell. Now, first I thought it was from the wildfires in Canada, but now I'm having second thoughts. Whether this devil is spraying things, and it's no coincidence that it's always to where we don't get rain for a little bit, we get rain, and then we get rain eventually. And then people start getting sick.
Pennsylvania. People are reporting this all over the country, multiple different states, Florida. And let me know down below if you are seeing this too, this dense fog. People are saying it's been going on for days, some places for weeks. All right, I'm just going to read some of these reports. These are reports that people are saying on social media right now. People are saying that it's happening in Bakersfield, California. I have not had fog like this in over 10 years, and my husband and I have both noticed the burning barbecue kind of smell because of the fog. All right, that's what people are saying in Bakersfield, California. Kansas has been facing this fog for days, people are saying, resulting in low visibility while driving. They also said the fog has been thick, eerie, and accompanied by a foul smell. And they're saying it's making traveling around dangerous for them. Someone else said a weird, odd smell and fog is happening in Vermont for the past 3 days. It smells, quote, chemically or electrically. And they're having headaches when they're walking their dog. So what people are saying on social media right now, there are no confirmed reports that these things are connected, but people can see the fog, people can smell it, and people are saying they think maybe something's happening, maybe it's related. It could even just be the smell of it could be bothering you and giving you headaches, making you not feel right, much less if it's anything worse than that. If it is some type of chemical or something in the area that's been released or is off-gassing or anything along these lines, let me know down below what you think. Someone also said, Minnesota, my eyes hurt and my throat hurts and I have a headache. Someone else said, the fog doesn't have any moisture. They said, I just drove through thick fog, which is by definition when water condenses and creates tiny water droplets. And they're saying all my life I've used windshield wipers in fog, but not recently. They're saying this fog is very dry, and they're saying it's not creating any type of moisture on their car or their windows or their windshield. And that is true. That definitely seems like something that's happened to me before, right? Living down.
All right, so you can check those videos out for yourself. But this is what's happening. The Lord is making good on His word. So let me grab these 2 precepts and we're going to get out of here. Psalms chapter 78. And this is what the Lord did to the ancient Egyptians. In verse 46, He gave also their increase unto the caterpillar and their labor unto the locust. He destroyed their vines with hail and their sycamore trees with frost. He gave up their cattle also to the hail and their flocks to the hot thunderbolts. He cast up upon them the fierceness of His anger, wrath, and indignation, and trouble by sending evil angels among them. Which is another thing that's happening. We're seeing chariot sightings in the midst of all this chaos. So the Lord is in the midst. We know this devil has various technology, but essentially it's the Lord. All right. He made a way to His anger. He spared not their soul from death, but gave their life over to the pestilence. And that's the point I wanted to grab. Because it's more important to fear Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Because He can give your life over to these plagues, or He can keep you safe from these plagues. Very important to remember that. What's the word pestilence, meaning plague? As you see a cattle disease, a cattle plague. Marine, which I'm not even sure what that word means. But it says an infectious disease, especially babesiosis, a plague and epidemic of crop blight. All right. So I didn't write these words down. I'm just telling you what the scriptures say. Let me grab actually 2 more scriptures. Isaiah 54, verse 17. No weapon that is formed against thee Let me start at 16. Behold, I've created the smith that bloweth the coals of the fire, and that bringeth forth the instrument for his work, and I have created the waster to destroy. So the Most High create things, to bring down. The Most High creates, which this is talking about ICBM nuclear missiles, but just bringing forth the point that the Lord creates, the Lord creates things to destroy. No weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper. And every tongue that rises against thee in judgment thou shalt condemn. So we believe in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, that these weapons, these chemical warfare that's being formed is not going to prosper. Now some brothers, we in the flesh, so it's advantageous to take care of ourselves, get into the herbs, of course, prayer and fasting. Nevertheless, we know that the Lord is going to keep us ultimately from the death that this devil is bringing through this chemical warfare. All right, and again, it starts off with in the council of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. This is all the council we see happening. It's a council. It's the purpose of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai as we are in the last days. Psalms 91:2. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress. In Him will I trust. Surely He shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. All right, because best believe, more, VAXs is going to come out of all these various diseases out here. All right, but we know never to trust our enemy. And from the noisome pestilence. He shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings shalt thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler. Thou shalt not be afraid of the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flieth by day, nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday. From the snare of the fowler. Okay, yeah, I would also miss that point because I wanted to go into the word noisome, which means engulfing, right? So the Lord is bringing these things, whereas engulfing diseases, various diseases that the scriptures also say the sword, famine, death, and destruction. They're all coming at one time, right? The Lord knows this. He's going to deliver us from it. And again, prayer and fasting is in the works, because us being in this flesh, it would be it would be unwise not to take advantage of the defenses the Lord gave us. I'll just leave it at that. He shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings shalt thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler. Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flieth by day. Because according to Proverbs 3:25, these things are for the wicked. So with that, I pray you brothers was edified. Shalom to the elect.